Well, hello there. Let's now connect the minor pentatonic shapes, because you don't really know this scale unless you can play it all over the fretboard and switch between them wherever you like. So, to achieve that, you first have to learn them individually, which is what you did in the last step. So, now that we start connecting them, if you find that for example, the C minor shape, you always play the wrong note for some reason. You always mess that one up, basically. Then you need to go back to the previous step here and practice that one individually. It makes complete sense, doesn't it? So what happens here when we connect them, basically, is that we discover if there's a flaw here with what we learned earlier. Maybe the C minor shape is you're not ready yet to connect them because you haven't learned the C minor shape properly yet. But you'll find out by doing this. So let's take it as a test. Let's start in A minor. And let's start with the G minor shape. So it might be tempting here to go below there, because it's like, that seems like the best thing to do. But really, I think after considering this for a bunch of years since I first recorded videos for this concept, I think it's better to start on the root and finish on the root. Not go below, actually. I know it's only one note there, but it's a principle. What you want to do is train your eye and train your hands. So what do we do here then when we switch? Well, we don't want to play the same note twice, right? So I'll go like that. I think that's the best way to do it. And then here, switch like that. C minor shape. Now, if you don't agree with me and you're like, well, I want to play below the root note. Okay then, well then there'll be a slightly different way of connecting them. When you come here, you just do that. Still here, I think, you don't want to repeat the root note. So if you're gonna go below, it would be this. And instead of going there, we go there. So you know what? The best way to do this is to do both of those ways. Connect them playing below and connect them not playing below. Huh? How's that? I just made it twice as hard. Or, well, maybe you're just fine-tuning it and learning how to connect these even better if you do both. So I'm going to give you the three options. Start on the root, finish on the root. Don't go below. Or go below, which makes the connection between them slightly different. Or option 3 for the really ambitious guitar player, do both. Right, let's do it in D as well, because the most important thing here is to go through all 12 keys. So if I use the idea of connecting like that, without going below the root note, it'll be this. Okay, if it's going below as well, don't worry about the metronome for now. Just make sure you can do it, right? You don't want to be like giving yourself a reason to believe that you failed. But, oh, damn it, I got it wrong. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about the metronome. Just like, oh yeah, there it is, you know? Try to get it right by slowing down and speeding up, and focus on what's important here, which is training your hands and eyes to see these shapes and how they connect. Always focus on the main objective and try to get that right. And once you got that right, maybe then you can get the metronome out and go, how many keys can I play through? So A, connect all. D, connect all. G, connect all. C, connect all. F, through the cycle of fourth. How many keys can I get through to a metronome without messing up, staying with a click? That could be your like ultimate challenge in the end. But don't start with that, you know, because you just feel bad. You're not gonna get through all 12 keys to a metronome on day one. It's just not gonna happen. So just try to be like, okay, I'm gonna learn how to connect these. I'm gonna be kind to myself. Here's another exercise. Connect them, cycle of fourth, closest possible shape. Finish on the root note, go to the next root note. So that's a D minor pentatonic in an A minor shape. The first one was an A minor pentatonic in an E minor shape. See the chord shape, fit the scale shape around it. You could play the chord as well. I didn't play the G minor there, I played the G minor 7, right? Because it's too hard. I don't like making it hard on myself. Same here. So I'll play that. And this actually outlines this scale shape better. That minor 7 chord. Oops. Okay, so that's the 5 shapes, and then you go up, and now E flat, sorry, not E flat, B flat minor pentatonic in an E minor shape. So you moved up 1 fret basically from where you were. Oops, stop there. And again, if we go below the root note, if we start over here in A minor, oops. Then it'll look like that instead. What about this idea? I was thinking about this idea as I was playing the last one. So here we can't do much, right? Well, we can, instead of going back to the root, we could make the switch before we hit the root. And then up a fret from where we were. So that's another variation you could do, and the ambitious person does both ways, and maybe even comes up with another one, you know. But please stay with the topic here, switching between these caged minor pentatonic shapes in order to learn them better. That's the whole point, right? Don't make this too difficult on yourself. It's gonna take a few weeks, this is not gonna be done in a Saturday afternoon. Do it 10-15 minutes, maybe twice a day maximum, before you start playing some music. Yeah, that's the most important bit. You gotta stay musical. Much better if you were like, say you learned one of the melodies from one of the songs you're playing, and you realize that, oh, this melody is only the minor pentatonic. Guess what? That's gonna happen a lot. Can I play that in all my shapes? That's much more important than, you know, connecting shapes through all 12 keys to a click without making mistakes. It's much, much, much more important to play a melody in all areas of all shapes, and then maybe take that through all 12 keys. You learn so much more from that. This is something I didn't do when I was practicing years and years ago. I was just like too focused on the scale shapes and how can I play my scale shapes perfectly. And when I've had students teaching this system to them, I was so excited that the system was so brilliant, because it really is. It's much better, this caged way of looking at things, than all the other ways I tried. And these exercises are super efficient, and I was so excited about that. I wanted to push that through so hard that I got my students all worked up about it, and they were practicing this all the time. And unfortunately, a lot of them didn't become very good guitar players. they just became really good at playing scales. You know, and I realize that now because I've seen them. I've seen them like 5 years down the line, and they're mechanical. And they keep thinking theory before the song. Really bad idea. You want to think, what's the theory of the song? And can I do all that stuff, you know? Not what's theory and, oh yeah, here's a song, I'll just slap some Mixolydian ideas on top of it. You'd be surprised how many people think like that, and it really doesn't work. It sounds awful. You don't want to play music theory, you want to play music. And when you play music, you'll see the theory, the music theory of the song. It's really obvious, especially if you know all your shapes. And then you can practice that song in all areas. Great idea. Fantastic idea. That's what you should be doing. But obviously, to do that, you got to know your shapes. So that can be achieved. These exercises are so easy that all you got to do is take yourself through these 8 steps by practicing 10-15 minutes twice a day. And it'll happen. It'll take less than a year. I know it will, because I've seen people do it. Anyway, time for me to stop waffling on about this, and time for you to start practicing them. So you got all your shapes, connect them all. Do it in all 12 keys. Use the closest possible shape concept as well. And how you connect them, exactly how you connect them, well, I've shown you a few different ways here. Do them all. Why not? In the next step, we are going to move away from the minor pentatonic. We're going to play the minor blues scale. So that's a bit of a lie, isn't it? Because the minor blues scale is the minor pentatonic with one more note. Very, very important to understand this concept. To fully understand it, you will have to know what your intervals are within the minor pentatonic. So if you want to look at that already now, root, minor third, 4, 5, flat 7, root, minor third, 4, 5, flat 7, root, minor third. You can say that as you practice. Anyway, that's enough ideas. See you in the next step.